The average American man with a bachelor's degree will earn about $2.2 million in his entire lifetime, which is a lot of money. But Bezos makes that in under just 15 minutes, which is mind-blowing. He makes an estimated $149,353 every minute. By the end of this video, Bezos is going to make more money than you would in your entire life. I know that these numbers can damage your self-esteem because making that kind of numbers seems impossible. Forbes estimates his net worth much bigger than the entire British royal family. It's a living proof that you can get wealthier than even royal families if you have the right mindset and the skills. So here in this video, we're going to take a look at 7 skills that you need to start building wealth. Without mastering these skills, you will not go far, especially financially. So if you want to get out of that dark financial position that you're in, listen carefully because you're about to find out the skills that will help you to become financially free. They might not directly earn you more money like copywriting, coding, or marketing, but in many ways they're far more important. And I would go as far as to say that without them, you will achieve nothing. But what's far more important is giving this video a thumbs up, because there is no other way to let YouTube know that this video is great other than interacting with it, which means giving it a thumbs up and commenting. It doesn't matter what you comment, just go to the comment section and type whatever you want and let's see if that's going to work or not. Number 1. Persuasive skills. Take a look at any business. You will realize that all they do is sell. Sometimes it's a service or a product, and quite often the product is not produced by them, but they know how to sell it. If you're a good salesman, you will never be poor in the world of capitalism. Think for a moment. Let's say you have great selling skills. All that is left for you is to pick a product, and it's a matter of time before you sell enough to be drawn in a pile of cash. There is a reason why people buy from one person and ignore the other. There is a reason why people prefer to buy from one company and not from thousands of others. And if you're serious about building wealth, you can't simply skip this skill, because without it, you can't go far. Selling doesn't necessarily mean selling a product. You might need to sell yourself or your team to get that investment. When you're in a job interview, you're trying to sell yourself to get that position. And the better persuasive skills you have, the higher the salary you will be able to negotiate. The best way to pump up your persuasive skills is to become a salesman, just to learn these skills. Every day you will be talking to dozens of people trying to sell them something, and it will be only a matter of time before you will feel completely comfortable selling anything to anyone. Number 2. Playing chess. If you know how to play chess, then you understand the importance of strategy. The goal isn't to get rid of your opponent's every soldier, but rather focus on his greatest weakness and trap him. As soon as you get rid of his king, he's done. Before making any move, you should be able to see at least a few steps ahead of you, because you do not win the game by a single move, but rather a bunch of moves carefully planned ahead, which is how you also build a business. The game of chess helps you to see the bigger picture instead of just focusing on what's happening now. It helps you to understand that it's alright to lose small battles in the short run in order to win the game in the end. Chess is about strategy. Without strategy, you can't build wealth. Number 3. Patience. Do you know how most people lose money? A stock or an asset suddenly starts rising for one reason or another. It's all over the news. Everyone talks about it. From outside, it seems like one in a lifetime opportunity, so you feel like you're missing out. You don't want to sit aside and watch how everyone is making a fortune while you're not. So you jump in, but then suddenly the bubble bursts. The stock crashes and you lose your entire investment. Isn't that what happened with GameStop, for example? That's why you should learn how to be patient. Don't be driven by your emotions. There is no quick way to get rich. Of course, there are opportunities that time to time come and go that could earn you millions in a matter of a few years, but that's rare. And if you want to take advantage out of such opportunities, you have to spot them way before the public does. I've seen a countless numbers of people who lost fortunes just because they weren't patient enough. It's not an easy skill to master, but if you do not master it, you're going to get back to your dark financial position sooner or later, even if you win the lottery. Number 4. self-education. If there is one lesson you will take out of this video, then let it be this one. When you go to school, you're brainwashed into thinking that that's the place where you learn. You need someone to teach you something, and then you have to go to college to learn something so that you become a valuable member of the society. But what happens instead is that you memorize a bunch of useless facts that you later on write down on a test, and then a few moments later forget absolutely everything. Here's what I hate the most about this school. Whenever I used to ask my teacher about the point of learning that, she would always reply, "You will need it in the future, it's important," or something along those lines. But there was never a good reason to motivate me to learn that, which is why I think the entire school system is broken. The teacher has a way to teach, and she assumes that that method works with everyone, which is not the case. People are different. Imagine if you go to school and you learn the things that will really help you in life. Just a simple example of why you should never rely on traditional institutions for knowledge is that you never learn anything about stuff that matters, such as money, relationships, social skills, and many more. So learning how to teach yourself is the most important skill ever. You no longer need a degree or someone, especially since we have this thing called the internet. You can turn on your computer and teach yourself whatever you want. Number 5. Staying focused. Let me give you one of the best ways to get rich. This advice works with everyone, and it has been working since the day humans existed. Spend over 10,000 hours mastering a skill that is in demand. Become great at it. In fact, be the best at it so that everyone comes to you for that. Taxes are complicated, for example, but everyone has to do their taxes, from individuals to companies. Businesses are willing to pay a fortune if you can help them to avoid paying some taxes. So if you become really good at accounting, and especially taxes, you can charge a huge amount of money in exchange for financial advice. As long as there is demand for that skill, you're going to make a fortune. If you have a business, for example, would you pay an accountant $100,000 if he can save you $1 million in taxes, for example? I think yes. But the only way to master any skill is to learn to stay focused. Number 6. Silence. When you're trying to impress people with words, the more you say, the more common you appear and the less in control. Even if you're saying something banal, it will seem original if you make it vague and open-ended. Powerful people impress and intimidate by saying less. The more you say, the more likely you're going to say something foolish. If you have read the 48 Laws of Power, you probably know the power of silence. To build a successful business, you need to be able to know how to deal with people, and silence is a skill that very few people have mastered. Your silence will put people in a defensive situation and will make them say more and reveal about themselves more and their intentions. By saying less than necessary, people will take your words more seriously and will listen to them more carefully, hence making them more valuable. Number 7. Confidence. Yes, confidence is a skill. Some people are naturally confident, but the vast majority of us has to learn it. Everything starts with believing in yourself, in your abilities, in your desire to take risks, and you cannot do that unless you're confident enough. Everyone is talented, but most people lack the courage to take that step and start that business, or ask for a promotion, or say no to everything else in order to find the time to work on what truly matters. I had a huge problem with confidence back when I was a kid, and as I started working on myself and became more confident, everything has changed. By the way, I have made an entire course on my journey of how I developed confidence. The link will be in the description. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, and if you're new around here, then subscribe and turn on your notifications. We're trying our best to make some great videos for you and hopefully help you achieve your financial goals. Thanks for watching, and until next time.